freezing, it's cold. Winter beat us to the punch. Hey, I'll be here with just about anything garage. This is just a little intro to the intro for the video. We intended more to be on this video about ghosts, excuse me. But some things beat us to the punch. So we're gonna go ahead and send this one out for Ghost. We'll pick up Ghost again, probably closer to the spring, but we got other things like Laverne and that type of stuff coming. So you guys go ahead and you enjoy this video, and we'll have some other stuff coming out for you. All right, we appreciate you. Hey, if you do that all that jazz for me, I would appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Shakedown. We took her out, we shook her down. She's got lots of gumption in her. She like really pulls and hauls. We haven't really been able to do a straight out run with her at super high speeds because even though we did get the front end of line, it was one of the things we did get done with her. We discovered that the front shocks need to be replaced. The backs aren't too bad, but we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna replace shocks on all four corners of her to do that. And what we're gonna do when we do that is take the opportunity to upgrade, make it our first upgrade on the suspension. So what we're going to do, we got these, some KYB gas shock absorbers, gas adjust, that we're going to go ahead and use. They're an increased performance shock for the 77 Corvette. The next one are adjustable ones, either Bilstein or something like that. Bilstein, whatever you pronounce it. But we're going to go with those. And if we decide we want to do an adjustable, so that we can do that when we get things we can take advantage of the adjustable on, such as a monoleaf spring for the rear, new control arms, maybe upgrading the trailing arms and that type of things, we'll go ahead and do that. But other than that, we're going to do a bunch of work underneath it that we discovered that we need to do. So let me just kind of highlight what we've discovered there. We went ahead and we put in a new gear for here to get us closer. That's in and going. We're going to go ahead and we're going to make some changes up here on the starter to get this package of wires moved up to a terminal post so we can run just one down in here, because what we want to do is go ahead and put the heat shield on this, because we're having a heat soak problem with it being so close. You can see how close it is right here to the header. So we're going to get the heat shield that we have on for that. We're going to go ahead. We ordered a new one of these puppies right here, the hydraulic control arm for the power steering, because we got a pretty good leak. You can see it dripping right here, and we got a nice little puddle down here, and it's continuously leaking, and we want to get rid of those leaks because it just doesn't do any good, and it's a pain in the butt to fill it because it's underneath the alternator. We'll go ahead and we'll do another tune-up cycle, but I went and did it. I went ahead and took a bite. We went and got Ace's EFI, the Killshot Fusion management system for it. We're going to go ahead and put on it because I figured, you know, if we're going to go and upgrade the suspension, let's go ahead and put EFI on it so we get a nice operating engine. Not that she's running bad, she's not. She's running fine. We got her tuned. She's a little rich. She likes to run a little bit more on the rich side. So we'll let the EFI system go ahead and handle that. The other thing that we're going to do is we have the control actuators. These puppies right up there. You can see where my fingers point, maybe right up there. Then we're going to go ahead and switch out. We had lost over on this one the open side, this one that's on this side. It'll close. That one will open and close over here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to swap those out while we're doing it too, and just kind of clean her up. The brakes are still wishy-washy. We're going to run it a little bit more. If you look in here, I don't know if you can see it. Here's the back side. They're still a little icky. They haven't cleaned off for that, but we'll do some hard braking with it. We'll see if it'll clean it off. If not, we will either, as we get the performance up, probably with this set, pull them off and get the rotors turned so that we have good braking. She's braking. She's just, you got to be aware of what you're doing. And you know, little stuff like this, like we got these sway bar mounts that are worn, right? So we'll go ahead and we'll replace the mounts for that. The rest of it is fairly tight. We can get, you know, we're getting some wear, but we'll worry about that because we're probably going to change the control arms here to get an upgrade for a more responsive steering and suspension control out of it. All right, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to start to work on that. We'll get you going here. This is the intro to that video. So we'll go ahead, we'll do all that work, and we'll show you how she responds and how she's driving. All right, so you stay tuned and we'll be right back with some action here. All right, so let's start pulling some stuff off of this, right? We got it up in the air so we can get the bottom bolts. Maybe we can. On. Yep. Well, that one's on the floor. Ooh, that one isn't like hardly covered at all. That's out. I've already taken these out. These are out. Get the easy bolts. Let's come over here, see what we need. Let's see, we're gonna pull those out. Put you up on a tripod real fast. We have the right size wrench for that. Get you in here. Bring you up in here. Tilt you up towards the bottom of it. Let's see what we can get off. What is that? 3/4? Yep, sure is. Let's see if there's a lower torque one, we'll get it off. Yep, that came off. Bring you over here. Do this one. That one came right off. Good. All right, now I gotta let it down a little bit. Can't fit you under here when I do that, so give me a second and we'll come back and do those top bolts and we can drop the back ones right off because I can get to them up here. Hang on a sec. Okay, so we took the wheel off so we could get to the nut. We got it out. We had it jacked up to take pressure off it because it was putting pressure on that. But now we're gonna lower it a little bit and see if we can't let that fall out. That come down, that trailing arm will only go down so far, but we got pressure off of it. So we should be able to now get in there, tap it out with a hammer. Let's grab one. There we go. Then we can pull the bottom piece off because it's pretty loose. There it goes. And first shock out. On the rear. Yeah. That one might be okay, but they're Monroes. We're going to put the gas Justomatics in there. Pardon me. Pull the installation directions off. Up and down. Put you back up on tripod for a second. Go ahead and we'll cut this and watch it expand. How's that? Come on! Be that way. Fine. Do it with a tripper. Seems how it's going to be difficult. Come on. You ever have them play hard to get on you? There we go. No reason to do that. And it just expanded, so cool. Now let's see if we can get it in there, huh? Let's push you guys lower. Put you in a spot here. You might be able to, oh, you're up really high. Let me lower you. Lower you. Stand. Sorry for this. Cut most of this out. Okay. And down you go. There we go. Let's see what we can get here. Down here. Push on like that. Come on. Get in there. And of course, it's going to be a little tight. Let's see if it's lined up. Or what the issue is here. See if we can't get that to work its way in. Come on, get in there. There we go. Between those. Let's see if we can raise this and get it to seat. What do you think? We'll see if we can get it to seat here. Compressing it. Come on. Being difficult. Okay, it's pretty lined up there in terms of the hole. Now if we can just get that to compress without lifting the car off of the lift. Yeah, being difficult. All right, let me play with it a little bit and we'll be back. Because obviously it's going to take a little time. Okay, there you go. It's on. I hit it with some WD-40 and then jacked it enough. I could get it exposed, and I just stuck a screwdriver in it to pull it up and get it even with the hole. So we're all on. Bottom one on, no problem, as you can see here. So that one's on that side. I'm going to bang the other one out real quick, and then we'll go up and we'll show you how we do a front one. And we'll be right back. Okay, so onto the front. And you already saw that we released the two bottom when it was up in the air. Now we got to get this off. I hit it with the impact. Got it as loose as it'll go, but now it's the shaft's turning free. So we need to put you guys like this so that you can see it. Hopefully not let you fall anywhere. And I believe it's 9/16. Yep. You see how it's turning the whole shaft. And it's 1/4 on the top. So hopefully we can either turn the 1/4 or the 9/16 like so. Get it off. which means I've got to turn this way. Here we go. And turn the bolt out. Turn the bolt off the shaft. And then the shock will drop right out. As I jiggle the front, make sure I'm going the right way. Yes, because am I? Or am I tightening it? I think I'm retightening it. Now this should be going the right way. There we go. And of course we could hit it with some WD or something. If we wanted to get it greased up. Of course, the easy way is you go in there and you cut it out with a Sawzall or something, but we're not going to do that. I'm going to go get my blaster. We may have to, when we go to actually put the new shock in, resort to the jack like we did the back. Let's squirt the other one while we're at it. Of course, if I can get to it. Here, because I'm short. This is up in the air a little bit. There we go. All right. Tight, but it'll come off. You get the idea? No use sitting here and watching me do it for 20 minutes. We'll be back when we go to put the shock in, so hang tight. All right, so here's the gas strut and well, the shock absorber. Two things you got to do from when you're putting it in. Notice how these are at an angle. You got to make sure you put it in the right way because they go up at an angle so that these will sit flush once they're up and in there. The second thing you're going to find out is you're going to need to compress it, and it doesn't stay compressed like the backs do. They're not supposed to, the backs either. So you got to have to find a way to go ahead and push that up or move that up. So what I may have to do is find a spot where I can get a jack on it, not interfere with the installation, and jack it up a little bit. So seeing how you can't see what I'm doing underneath because it's cramped under there, let me go ahead and install that, and then I'll tell you what I did. All right, so hang on and I'll be right back. But those are the two things you need to watch for. Okay, there we are. It's up in the top. It's got the jam nut and everything. It's tightened down with a good squish on that. Now we're going to go to the bottom and just finish it up. So what we had to do was, you know, you have to put it up there and you have to compress the strut in order for it to get in there properly. So what you do is just look up the tower, get it into the hole on the upper top, right? And then I just took the bower here and I'll show you. Oh, come on, get over there. Jeez, and creepers, creeper, get where you're going. Okay? All I did was, see how cramped and upside down we are in here. I put it on, pushed up, and got it to catch and go. And so there it is. What I do need to do though is center it a little bit better. There we go. It'll move like that. There we go. Now we'll just tighten up on this one. Tighten up on this one. And you're done. I think I'm going to loosen these up and try and position it again. Just a little bit. Because see how that turns? It turns to accommodate the angle of the shock going up. You have to make sure you get it. In there. There we go. Much better. New shock. Now I'll go bang the other one out and we'll take her for a test drive. That's what I'll bring you in when we go for the test drive. Alright, so we'll be right back. Hang tight. Really? We'll save that one for a blooper. It hasn't been sticking on the back for some reason, so we're going to give you the place of honor, the cockpit view. See, that's how it's being difficult. See if you can't figure out why that keeps falling off. Hopefully it won't go out the window. Shouldn't. So let's take her out and see if our shocks made a difference. Let's find out. Go out on the highway so we can open her up a bit. Straighten you up a little bit. They do feel better already, at least on the back roads. still off though. I think I put the wrong gear back in it. Ooh, gas is getting low. Should have plenty for this cruise, but then we're gonna pop a little in it probably. Much better. Yeah, speedometer's under reporting. I got too big a gear on it. Well, we'll fix that. Let's open her up a little. Oh, very stable at 70. Pressure's good. Got voltage good. Brakes are improving too. Must be getting the shine off of the rotors. Some gumption and coming out of this turn. How's that? In third gear to third to fourth shift. Steering's tight. Holding the road. And no bouncing or wobbling anymore. A lot. And it's a lot more responsive too. Oh man, she like goes. A little scary because she flat changes lanes. You know, no body roll, just whoop over to the other lane. Nice sound. Take her down another gear. Oh, yeah. Really nice. Got a newer bag coming up behind me. feeling good. See if we can increase performance even more. Park her outside for a little bit because we got stuff to do on the inside. She's still idling a little high, but rather than tune up that carburetor, we may make a little adjustment to lower their idle a little bit. But we've got the ACES EFI engine management system, so we're going to want to do that. So that'll be the next big thing on her. All right, hang tight. We'll show you the next improvement, stuff we're working on. So I'm the ghost of hubby. It looks like I've been driving it too much. Look what I found in here. Happy Halloween, everybody. And stuffed into the middle of this one, probably coming after Halloween, but Ghost is going to get some work done on her, right? Continuation of what we've been doing. We put new shocks on her, of course. And I showed you, I believe, we got the ACES EFI engine management system. We're going to go on. It's the Killshot Fusion, which is basically, I think, either Killshot or Killshot 2 with the ECU integrated into the throttle body rather than sitting on the firewall. So everything will be nice and neat. It's a complete kit we got for it, all the way from the fuel system all the way forward and everything into that. I've asked them a couple questions. We got our answers, so we're going to do that. We also got a bunch of other parts we're going to do to get her going. We lost an actuator for the headlights, so we're going to replace that. We actually got two. We'll probably just go ahead and replace both of them to make sure, because if one goes, the next one is sure to go. We're going to take care of that leaking power steering cylinder. We got that we're going to put on. We've got internal parts. This is, if you remember when I was taking it for inspection, the stupid thing, you turn the wheel and it would blow. That's because this assembly would end up grounding out. So we're going to do a complete replace of that assembly, the cover clip, the internal horn parts, and I got new clips for it to secure the locking plate. So we'll be able to do that. We're also going to get on the heat shield, which we didn't do the last time when we were doing stuff because we couldn't make it fit because it was going to short out on the power terminal. But I picked up power terminal here. We're going to run it up to the firewall, and so it's being used as a junction point, which is what the problem is. It pushes things out. We're going to get a single wire onto it, and we'll put a boot over it to make sure it's insulated, but we're going to get all that on. So we're going to go ahead and get all that stuff up and hopefully squeeze in 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 more rides before the snow flies to get her checked out and get her baseline to where we want her. We're also considering a Holley GPS speedometer. I've been looking at that to replace the one in there just because the speedometer cable keeps stopping turning because it keeps coming out. So it's got parts that need to be replaced anyway. So we may just go ahead and put a GPS one in there. And the GPS has the extra advantage of giving you 0 to 60 time and top speed and a bunch of other information on it. So we'll see what happens there. But we're going to go ahead and get started on that stuff and get that going. So hang tight, and we'll bring you along as we go ahead and we get these integrated in the middle of this video. All right, so we got Ghost up in the air here, and what we've done is we pulled off all the hot wires from the starter connection because we were using that terminal as the junction, but we have a problem, right? Because we want to use this heat shield here to hopefully take care of the hot starts problem. But the problem was we were hitting that terminal all the time. So what I've done is I pulled all the wires at junction onto that, back here too, off. Batteries disconnected. The only ones that are running over there are the activation wire and the wire ran up so that we can bump it upstairs. So it's all activation. It's pushed way over. So what we're going to do is we're going to make another one. I have extra of this. We're going to pull this one out. It's no longer just, you know, power for having power up there. It's going to be the main carrier of the current down to that. So we're going to make another one of these smaller that'll come up from, we're going to put a post up there. We'll hook this one to the post. We'll hook these to the post, and then we'll run one down to connect to the connection, if you can see it right up in there, to hopefully clear things. So what we want to do is check and see if we put this up. Okay, this runs like this here, and it connects to where it's supposed to. Yeah, see, it'll clear now. We put that on there. We can arrange it so it's not going to touch that. So if we route, I'm sorry, you guys are off looking at the headers. If we keep it routed close to the block when we run it in there, you can see there that, oh, my light's out. You guys can't see. Hang on a second. I think we're going to lose it, but there you go. It clears it now. When we get it up over there, we can keep it far enough away. And what we'll do is I have heat shrink. We'll put it over that too. So we'll only have one connecting. It'll hug the block up there, and we should be able to put this heat shield on. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. And we'll run all that, and we'll come back and we'll show you how it came out. And we should be okay. We should be able to get this heat shield on, which is what we're after getting to. The other thing we're going to do is right up in that corner, you can see that sucker's leaking. We may pull these off and hit it with a little RTV. I just lost the light again. And see if we can stop that leak in that stupid corner on these things leak. And we'll see if we can fix that while we're at it. All right? So we'll be right back. All right, so we've made us a 24-inch cable out of the same as the power supply cable here. And what we're going to do is we're going to route it up like this. Let it fall where it may for right now. Top of the headers underneath that. And this is going to come in here to the front and connect. Let's bring the light with us. To, as soon as we find out where we left it. Oh, it's right there. We're going to have to pull it out. Down and put it onto that. Oh, there it is, sitting right there. Onto that bolt right there, and make sure that it's pressed over. I don't know if you can see it, but it's sitting right behind there. We're going to put it right onto the starter bolt, and then the terminal up there will carry it all down on the connection and everything up there, so we get it nice and clean. And then I have big heat shrink tubing, red, the same stuff I used on the cable when I made it, that we'll go ahead and we'll put over the bolt and heat shrink it in there just to make sure that everything stays good. So let me go ahead, since I can't hold you at the same time, you're not going to have a good view because I'll be up in there. We'll put that together, and then I'll show you where we're at, and we'll put her down, and we'll pull everything up on it. All right, so hang tight. We'll be right back. All right, so we have a heat shield. So here's what we did. Remember, we made that new wire. We put it in. It's a single wire that goes over. It's pushed up against the block, as you can see here. The activation wire for the starter is there. We had to notch this, right? Because this is a whole circle, and you're supposed to pull the bolt, but there's no way to get that bolt in. So I was able to notch it, slide it in, and with the back of the shield off, not screwed on tight, was able to get a wrench in there, a socket, and get that to tighten up there. Show you the front side of it here, right there. I did some work up there. I put heat shrink on that. Oh, headers are still hot because I was running it. Nice and cool now. That thing works, and we pried it away to make sure that it wouldn't hit. So we're in really good shape, but we got the heat shielding in on that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to change the oil because she's about due for that. She hasn't got a tremendous amount of miles on her, but we put some special oil in her because it was the first real start and run. We're going to switch out the control arm for the steering assist. Once we got that done underneath, we're then going to move over to the headlights and fix the actuators up there. This will probably put it down because you can see it's mostly on the top side, but we're going to switch them both out just to make sure. This one's working fine. This is the driver's side one. Works fine. We lost, like I was telling you earlier, the one side of this. The once it'll go down, but it won't go up. So we lost one of the diaphragms on that. And after that, it's over to the engine management that we need to do, and the small parts. We'll get inside her, and we'll redo that horn stuff and see if we can't get the horn to work correctly instead of trying to beep all the time when you're driving it on this beautiful October 24th day. All right, so hang tight. We'll be back with the next part. Okay, so this has nothing to do with anything other than I'm a sucker for a nice day. Nice afternoon here in Agawam. It's October 24th. Of course, you know that because I've talked about it on the projects. But just a beautiful, beautiful day. Nice sunshine after the rain cleared. Got some color in the trees that are late. But just thought I'd show you guys, throwing a little just plain nice. Anyways, right in the middle. Hope you enjoy it.